Good morning, dear compatriots. We continue our activities. First, the situation in the front line. During the entire night, all along the western part, բարձրացրեք, չեմ լսում ես. One company, one. So all the attacks. So some units having remained in ambush, so artillery fire has been extinguished. Vata չեմ լսում ժողովուրդ. In this direct direction. In southern part, there were several attempts of attack. The attacks of today are slightly different from the attacks of other days. In all the directions. So the attacks have been stopped, and in some parts our units have managed to follow them and to have success. However, in Martuni direction, a couple of positions have been defeated. At this point, the fights are going on. All the attacking activities, which have been in some 2-3 directions, have been delivered. So they have used mostly company, battalion units. They have actively used aviation. Several settlements have been shelled, including at around 6:10 p.m. during the artillery shelling in the direction of David Bek, which was in our direction. So the community has suffered, and we have also one casualty, which has been officially informed. In general, the situation is under control. The movements and regrouping of the adversary can be observed, and by the fire of the artillery are shot. Now I would try to respond to the question. So that as each soldier is a hope of one family. Do you have any programs? Do you have any programs with the support of Red Cross for the exchange of POWs and also bodies? One more question. And recently, the Ministry of Health communicated information that so when the bodies are there for a long time, there can be some problems and there can be some infectious diseases. Is it a pressing issue for the army? Whether the international community and organizations have expressed a certain position about this, and whether any kind of preventive activities are performed about exchange of POWs, whether there are programs or activities. We have a daily work, but those works will not be successful in case when there is no willingness on behalf of Azerbaijan to go for any kind of compromise. If for 3-4 times all the recommendations of ceasefire are doomed, unfortunately we cannot do anything else. We also suffer from this issue, but unfortunately the activities have not been successful. When the matter is about the epidemiological situation, yes, there are a couple of cases in front of our positions where for more than 20 days, when there are bodies of Azerbaijanis, of mercenaries, or servicemen of some other countries, terrorists or mercenaries are there under the open sky, and they generate very serious problems. We try to solve those problems in one way or the other in order to avoid the epidemiological situation. I'm sure that we will be successful in combating the epidemiological situation, but the dead bodies are there. They do not take any steps towards the ceasefire because they couldn't care less about the servicemen. So this epidemiological situation will be for the entire region. You know, there are some places it's not quite like that. So there are some places where the bodies are dead because of the movements of the position. There can't be any kind of epidemiology. So as I mentioned, that they have undertaken several attempts of attack in the vicinity of one of the villages of Hadrut, while countering the attack of the enemy. So in front of our positions they have left 15-16 dead bodies, and they did not approach. So during the fightings of today. Mr. Hovhannisyan, in contrast to the first days, the strength of the attacks of the enemy has been changed. Mostly we're facing local fights. So while specifically today it was stronger than in previous days. In previous days, in a couple of directions they have tried it. Karbishuka, so some 2-3 directions from the southern in Martuni they attempt. They had, well, in regard of 2 positions, not decisive successes they had left. But in the evening, in 2 positions, in the 2 posts that we considered, we caused them very serious problems in the direction of Martakir. They tried to the course of the night that they have tried, but if we take the overall dynamics to the course of last 10 days, I said yesterday, the ground forces of Azerbaijan, especially the infantry and tank forces, have suffered a lot, and that's why very often they outsource this kind of activities to the mercenaries and also to the troops that have brought from other places, who attack mostly without any armor vehicles, but they try to support them by artillery fire and air fire. This is the main point, as I mentioned before. So we have stopped the blitzkrieg. They have failed in the blitzkrieg, and in some individual sports they want to clinch. They're successful, they're not successful, they try in some other place. In the meantime they try to replenish, they try to bring some new forces, new equipment, but the strength will not be the same as it used to be during the first 15-20 days. If there are no more questions, let me get to the electronic questions.
Free news.
Free news. Information is communicated that Azerbaijan can see our movements on the front line in the rear, and it can take pictures of all of our country. Can you interpret that the adversary have got this kind of satellite imaging capacity? I do not exclude anything. We have full-fledged, not supported. They have complete control over the military activities. Yes, it is quite possible that they have got this kind of satellite imaging capacity, but this is not something catastrophic, because we have got the same capacities in order to have the same surveillance. So in this regard, we should not only think what shall we do for them not to see us, and what shall we do in order to deceive them, in order to disguise our movements, our actions, our means. իրավունք daily. When Azerbaijan is with the Air Force and artillery shelled the position of Armenian border guards with Iranian, our representative of Ministry of Defense said that we have got all the firing pods. We are going to shell them. After the announcement, after the statement of the Mr. Turner, they have shelled the Davik Beg post. Did we do anything equivalent? On a daily basis, we do everything equivalent, but we should not undermine that in quantity the adversary is greater than us. It has got more means. It has got full-fledged support of Turkey. Hitting, shooting, beating is done on a daily basis. The losses on the daily basis is several times more than ours, but this is war, and this is not a small war. Sir, who has sold phosphorus bombs to Azerbaijan? So we do not have specific information, but we are researching this. Azerbaijan has returned 30 bodies and 1 police. He did not do recently. So it's been done through the course of 3 attempts during this entire period. Armenia Today, a question from Telegram channel. After the first phase of the war, seemingly there is less information about from a northeastern section of the front line. So what kind of fighting is going there? Are there changes of the front line in this section? I have mentioned that the fightings have started in that direction. Tomorrow, or maximum the day after tomorrow, we're going to communicate the changes of the map. New question from Samana. What kind of details can you communicate us about the death of the deputy commander of the Defense Army of Artur Haydapetyan? I cannot communicate, and I do not really think that it is appropriate to discuss the details of the death of this kind of high-ranking serviceman. These were the questions. Dear countrymen, the war is going on. The adversary is trying to attack in all possibilities, small forces, big forces, medium forces. It is trying to use actively certain advantages of its firing capacity, aviation, drones, artillery. So we are solving our defense objectives in a very literate manner, and we're causing very serious damages to our vehicles. The war has got its challenges, its difficulties, but I do believe that our troops have got a control over the situation. They gain more experience. They have got the intentions of the internet. They can understand in a better way the antidotes against the technology weaponry of the adversary. So stay assured, we are going to win.